Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this channel once again. Raila's AU chairmanship position seems to be in limbo after a serious African opinion poll revealed that Yusuf Mahmoud of Djibouti is leading with a very big percentage. In that opinion poll, Raila is rated with a 3% poll, while Mohamed Yusuf of Djibouti is having an overwhelming 80% opinion poll. Remember, in the AU, during the voting time, a candidate might not win in the first round because you need to get an overwhelming more than three-quarter of the total votes of the president or the people who will be voting at that time. So there's a possibility that in the first round, with the four candidates who are running for the seat, the first candidate might fail to get the three-quarter votes that are required for him to be declared AU chairman. So there is that looping of votes, which entails going back to vote and vote and vote until one candidate gets an overwhelming of three-quarter votes. Remember that in Africa we have about 53 presidents who will be voting, and three-quarters of that is about the three and above votes. The factors that are making Raila not to be the favorite candidate as compared to Mahmoud Yusuf of Djibouti it's because Mahmoud Yusuf is Islam, and you can agree with me that Islamic nations are going to support their own, especially if the Raila Odinga fails to win in the first round. When lobbying is being done and people are considering their options, there is an higher chance of Mahmoud Yusuf being considered because he speaks French and he is a Muslim. French-speaking nation in Africa are about 29 nations, and Yusuf Mahmoud of Djibouti is a fluent French speaker, and these 29 French-speaking countries are likely to support him at the first round. If some of these nations will not support him in the first round, in the second round, they will reconsider voting for Mahmoud Yusuf of Djibouti. So this opinion poll puts Yusuf Mahmoud at a very far front as compared to Raila Odinga. Specific reasons are because of the French nations and Muslim nations. Remember that Raila Odinga is not a Muslim. Raila Odinga does not speak France. As compared to Mahmoud Yusuf of Djibouti, who can speak English, can speak France, and is a Muslim. And as you understand, the Muslim will always stand with their own Muslim as compared to standing with a Christian. Another reason, if you've seen it of very late, President William Samoei Ruto has been seen as a man who is in limbo as compared to his 2027 presidential ambitions. He reached out to Uhuru Kenyatta very fast at the recent time, and due to that fact, ODM party is going to call a PG meeting to discuss Ruto and Uhuru coming together in the broad-based government and the role of ODM and its positions in the broad-based government. So, as we're speaking now, this is December, and by February, elections are going to be conducted, which means that there is a high possibility that Raila Odinga has sensed defeat in AU, and either President William Samoei Ruto understands that there is an high possibility that Raila Odinga will lose in that AU election. Even after Kenyans pressured on Raila Odinga when Hassan Joho made statements threatening those who are opposing his ambitions, Raila himself came out and said he can even consider withdrawing from AU if Kenyans are pushing for that. So there is an high possibility that they have considered their options, and the chances of Raila Odinga winning might be, as we speaking, very, very low. So that's why Ruto was calculated very fast. Remember that ODM had placed Anyang' Nyong'o, the governor of Kisumu, to be the acting party leader. So if Raila Odinga is going to lose the AU chairmanship position, he is going to come back reclaim his party leadership position and call a meeting and say that he was acting and Raila is now back, and he is going to run for the 2027 presidency. That one is a thing that is going to put the ambitions of the Kenya Kwanza government, who are right now depending highly on the Raila Amolo Odinga strongholds. You've seen William Samoei Ruto making inroads to the Raila Odinga strongholds in Kisumu. After that happening at a church functions in Embu, the next week William Samoei Ruto was in Kondere in Kisumu, where he was cheered. After a few weeks, we saw them going to Taita Taveta in the coastal region. He's been to Lamu, he's been to Mombasa. And these are perceived Raila Amolo Odinga strongholds. On top of that, William Samoei Ruto nominated ODM members, strong members who are very close allies to Raila Odinga to join cabinet. Hassan Joe, we have Oparanya from Kakamega, which is a Raila Odinga ODM stronghold. We have the two members from the Luo Nyanza. All these things were done to ensure that Ruto is accepted in the Raila Amolo Odinga stronghold. But what will happen if Raila Amolo Odinga loses the AU chairmanship position? He is going to reclaim his support base, and whatever means that Ruto will try to get some votes from these areas will be diminished, because as compared to other parts of the country, ODM and Raila Amolo Odinga strong supporters are diehards. And with just a simple word from Raila Amolo Odinga, these are people who will swift ground and they will support Raila Amolo Odinga. Even if Raila Amolo Odinga fails to win in the 2027 general election, he will have complicated that general election, considering the fact that Rigathi Gachagua right now is controlling the Mount Kenya region that gave William Samoei Ruto a 49% overwhelming support. You don't have the Mount Kenya region, you don't have Nyanza region, you don't have the Western region, or you have a part of it because of Mudavadi and Wetangula. You can get a certain small percentage from there. You don't have the coastal region, because trust me, Hassan Joe will take the direction Raila Amolo Odinga will direct as pertaining the 2027 general election. So that's one of the reasons that made Ruto to reach out to President Uhuru Kenyatta, his predecessor, so that he can get a bit of advice, and even he can seek support if things will be complicated in the 2027 general election. I did a video here explaining that there are high chances that the 2027 general election will not be a first round election. It might be determined by the second winning, because the first candidate or the winner of that election might fail to reach the 50+1 percentage, compared of the strong coalitions that we are seeing that are being formed. In previous years, we have seen where the first and second candidate scoop almost everything. But right now we have the Gen Z factor. We have the Central Mount Kenya and the Kikuyu factor. We have the Raila Amolo Odinga stronghold. Matiang'i will be coming in for the election. Kalonzo will be in from the company. So all these candidates are very, very strong candidates. And with every coalition to be formed, they will be scooping a good percentage from the total tally of the votes in the country. So this is one of the factors that if Raila Odinga will run for that presidency, then things are going to be very complicated for President Ruto, who will only be left with the Kalenjin votes, a small percentage from the Mount Kenya region, a small percentage from the Western Kenya region, which cannot help him win presidency. That's why it was very important for Ruto to ensure that Raila Amolo Odinga wins AU chairmanship position. And I'm pretty sure right now he's putting all the efforts to ensure that it overturns the percentages that we have seen that are favoring Mahmoud Yusuf. This includes reaching out the presidency of these French-speaking nations, reaching out to the presidents of the Islamic nations in Africa, and trying to discuss with them so that they can support Raila Amolo Odinga come February next year. Ladies and gentlemen, in all those are all my opinions. You can tell me what you think in the comment sections. And if you're watching this channel for the first time, take a second or two, subscribe to this channel. And if politics is something you like, here is where you'll be getting all political analysis. Like this video, share it, and comment in the comment sections. What do you think about the percentages we have seen that are favoring Yusuf Mahmoud of Djibouti. Yeah? Is he going to scoop this thing and Raila Odinga is going to lose? And what are the impacts of Raila Odinga losing pertaining the Kenyan 2027 general elections? Thank you and have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen.